Grateful to everyone in this community, whether you have devoted yourself to this community and you've been here for years, or whether you walked in today for the first time. You are here by divine appointment. I believe that with all my heart. I welcome you and I am thankful for you. Yeah.
We're praying for you.
Thank you. So as John Welshon so beautifully talked about, most of the things that make us happy or sad are not the things that make us happy or sad, but the way our mind deals with the things that are making us happy or sad. The things we tell ourselves about it. Now, I'm not saying that real hard stuff doesn't happen in this world, because it certainly does. And even among the real hard stuff, we have choice about how we experience that. We have a choice about what we take away from it. We have a choice on what we concentrate our attention on as we go through it. Do we concentrate our attention on, poor me, why is this happening to me? Or do we concentrate our attention on, what is there for me in this situation? What is there for me to learn and grow from? What is there for me to give? What is there for me to experience simply so that I can broaden the richness of my experience of this human life? Because why take on a human birth if we weren't meant to be human, right? And to experience all that that means. Yes, it is not I, but the Spirit within. But here I am standing here. And the Spirit within is what I try to allow to work through my human self as much as possible. But I still have this cumbersome body and all these emotions and all these opinions and all this experience that I have to deal with. And so all is welcome here. It's not either or, but we get to choose where we focus and what we focus on. And so today we get to focus on gratitude. And when I am at my lowest point, and I have been at some really low points just lately, so I can say this with authority. When I am at my lowest point, my mind goes to, what is there to be grateful for? What is there to be grateful for? And I have never, ever run out of things to be grateful for. Never, ever. But sometimes when things are happening, when the world is looking like the world is looking right now, especially if I can't keep myself from watching the news every night, when people just keep being people, you just can't stop them. Yeah, so I get annoyed. I get sad. Sometimes I get close to despair. I get frustrated. I get angry. I get all of those things, and I still have some choice here. And so as part of a gratitude practice, I was thinking about what are the things, what are the categories of gratitude that if you want to make a gratitude list each day, which I actually recommend that you do, take pen to paper and make a gratitude list. Do it every morning, or do it at night before you go to bed, or do it when you reach your lowest point in the day and you need to remind yourself that it's not all as bad as you think it is. And these are the things that come to my mind. The natural world. There is always room to be grateful for what is going on in nature. Sometimes you just need to take your shoes off and go stand by a tree and touch it and absorb some of that energy. Sometimes you just need to look up into the sky and in wonder and awe, in appreciation for all that the natural world gives to us, even though as a race we're not treating it very well. Still, it nourishes us, it feeds us, and not least of all, it feeds us with constant beauty if our eyes are open to look at the beauty. So, thankful for the natural world. And I'm going to call on you for your gratitude today. I won't always get to everybody, but I want to just go out and take a few take a few, just in a few words, what about, if somebody has like the natural word, there's this thing that I just am so grateful for right this minute. It's bursting out of me. Raise your hand.
I'm grateful for this.
Yep, I've hit the button. Hello. Hello. It's working.
I'm grateful for my health in this church.
Thank you. Anything about, thank you, Nan. Anything about the natural world? There's a tree in my yard. And when I go out my front door, well, there's many trees in my yard, but there's one in particular that I see when I walk out my front door, and I just go, okay, thank you. Things can't be too bad. There you still are.
My 111-year-old pecan tree. Yeah, trees inspire gratitude. To me, what inspires gratitude for you?
In the natural world, all the color that is in my front yard right now.
Yes, color.
I have roses, and I've been cutting them and bringing them into the kitchen, and they've been blooming in perfect order. And there was one that I cut that it looked like that something had eaten part of it away, and I thought, if this needs a special location, and I set it in the windowsill, far away where I wouldn't be able to smell the fragrance, but I thought it had the best chance there. And it blossomed in the way more fuller way than all these others did. So paying attention to even that part that maybe seems a little flawed can give you beauty and fragrance.
Thank you, Lisa.
I'm grateful for the beautiful sunsets. I have a couple spaces that I go to watch them, and the sunrise. I just love watching that sunset, and it's just the colors and just the natural beauty of the sky. To me, it's nature, and it's something that God gave us, and I'm grateful for it.
Absolutely. Thank you. We forget just looking up in the sky and seeing these amazing, incredible colors. I'm going to take one more, and then we're going to go on.
All the birds singing to us.
Yes, the birds singing. When I go walking in the morning, sometimes I listen to a podcast of some spiritual thing when I feel like I need that, but often I just make my walk a meditation, and what I do is go, listen, just listen. What can you hear? What can you hear? And there are those birds singing. It doesn't matter what the weather is. Those birds just keep singing. Thank you.
So I know, put this on your gratitude list. Make a note, make a mental note. One thing in the natural world that you're grateful for every day. The next category, and this is the one that probably comes to me most easily, is people. There are people in our lives. I'll tell you a story about
Way back. Whoop.
which one do you want me to use? Okay. I forget. I'm holding a microphone. I must need to have it by my mouth. There was a time about 35 years ago, whoosh, when I was in a very, very bad, actually abusive marriage. I had a brand new baby. I had a contract job. I was teaching, but it wasn't a salaried position. So when there was school, I got paid, and when there wasn't school, I didn't get paid. It felt very precarious and sad and scary in many, many ways. And I wasn't ready for a long time to admit to anybody how scared I was and how sad I was and how alone, how extremely alone I felt. And I was talking one day to a teacher that I worked with, and she was talking about the fact she had remained unmarried for a long time. She was in her 40s, and she said, sometimes, she said, I'm not really sad about it, but sometimes I feel lonely. And I remember saying to her, it was the first hint that I was let anybody outside of myself know anything about how I was feeling inside. And I said, it must be nice to feel lonely when you're by yourself. instead of when you're with someone. And she looked me in the eye and she said, and put her hand on my shoulder and said, Melinda, I know. I thought I was keeping up appearances. She's like, I know. And I started crying and said, my whole life has been based on prayer, and I don't even know how to do that anymore. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to pray. I don't know what to pray for. This is before New Thought, when I was praying for things, right? And she said, God already knows every single problem you have had, ever will have. Why don't you start by just telling what you're thankful for? And so I started that afternoon, and I went home that night, and I stayed up all night long, just thinking of things I was grateful for. I mean, by morning, I was a little bit delirious, and I was like, who came up with this thing that your shoes get tied together and you put a bow on it so they don't fall off your feet? That wasn't always there. Somebody had to invent that. I'm so thankful. Right? You may say I was digging at the bottom of the barrel, but I wasn't. I was seeing the world in the truly remarkable sense that it actually exists, without taking every little thing for granted. And it woke me up, and it began to change my life. It set in motion. It knocked over a domino, which they just kept falling until a beautiful pattern was laid out, and my whole life changed. And that's how it started, was that day of gratitude. And ever since then, when I get into a place where I'm close to despair, gratitude is the thing that pulls me out. And I am grateful today, yet, for that teacher who was a Baptist, right? I had judgments about her church and how she did things. And she may have saved my life that day. She helped me onto a new journey. So always there's someone in your life that you can be thankful for. So I want to hear in a couple of brief words something about the people in your life that you're thankful for, a person or people. Anybody just bursting with, I know me.
I'm thankful for my wife, and she puts up with me.
We should all be thankful for the people who put up with us.
And for my wife, Janet, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
I'm grateful for our neighbors who always seem to be there when we need help. Yes.
Yeah. Lovely to have good neighbors. I'm grateful for you. Yes.
So I'm grateful for Alexis Rice, who, one, got me on this path,
Mm-hmm.
two, introduced me to the person I was never going to get married to, because I was never going to get married,
Mm-hmm.
and then helped me transform into the person that would allow love into my life. So,
Yeah. I recommend that if you have somebody in your life that's done something like that for you, write them a thank you note. I don't care if it's been years. I can't tell you how many thank you notes I've written to that same person. I don't see her anymore. She's not in my life. But every once in a while, I just send her a thank you. Did you have your hand up?
I'm grateful for this church family, which is a wonderful family. And again, I also have an awesome neighbor that takes care of me.
Yeah. We are each other's neighbors. We are. Doreen?
I have a high school friend named Valerie, and she's just been in my life, well, since high school, right? And even until recently. I mean, she's always what I call a pathological solution finder. So I'm really glad to have her in my life.
Awesome. Thank you, Valerie.
Hi there. Now, I'm real thankful for somebody that's not even here anymore. But I married the love of my life, and I remember thinking I was the luckiest girl in the whole world that he chose me. And so I'm letting y'all know, I still talk to him, and he still talks to me. Mm-hmm. And lo and behold, I'm in another kind of home over 55. I wasn't going to say old people, but no. But anyway, God decided to put the neatest guy next door to me. I mean, just, he started renting that apartment, and he and I have so much in common, it's scary. We have so much in common. I told him it's a good thing we didn't want any more than friendship, because I think we're cousins.
Okay. Anybody else just bursting? Yeah.
I'm thankful for all the people in my life who have showed me that I can love and I'm worthy of love. Thank you.
I'm grateful for you, Larry. Yeah. Think around, not look around, think around today. And think of the people who have helped bring you to where you are right now. So the next category of thankfulness that my mind goes to, the natural world, people, is whatever it is in my life that gives me a feeling of meaning or purpose. Do I have, for me, songs to sing? Do I have people to talk to? Do I have work that satisfies my heart and makes me feel like I'm doing some good in the world? What brings you meaning or purpose that you can be thankful for? Anyone? Think about that for a second.
I have a peppermint in my mouth, so I'll try not to swallow it. Just the music, like you said, and being able to sing, and there's just so much joy in sharing that gift. And I'm very grateful that at my advanced age, that I
You
can
still look 12.
Sing.
Yay! Yay!
Sometimes that doesn't happen.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm grateful to be inspired by people that I can use as an example to pass on their inspiration.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And to know that you are an inspiration for others. That is very meaningful. Alan, did you have something?
Yeah. I'm very grateful for some of the people that I help. Yesterday I did a fundraising for people who are having lung transplants out in West Dallas. We raised like $600, but just the people that I help at work and my volunteer work that have disabilities. There's one person, he's like a silent hero. I helped him out for years in Hawaii. He just inspired me so much. His courage, his strength, his whole attitude towards life. He's in a wheelchair, he had to use a computer to talk. This guy had a better attitude than people who are living in $1 million homes and can play sports. I just want to say, Lord, I'm so grateful for all these people that I come in contact with that are dealing with medical challenges, and I'm just so thankful that I get to help them.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, anybody else?
I'm thankful for laughter.
Mm-hmm.
I found out very recently that people that I play bridge with make it a point to say something that will make me laugh.
We can find meaning and purpose, and I noticed almost everybody has said either from them or for them. There's been this idea, thank you, thanks George. There's been this idea, what gives meaning and purpose to us is something that connects us with other people. That either we make the connection or we're being connected with. And guess what? It doesn't matter who initiates the connection. When the connection is there, meaning and purpose happens. I think that is what is meant by when two or more are gathered, I'm there. Not that God is not there when there's only one. But when a connection is made with anybody, anytime, you have confirmation, validation, that spirit is alive. Sometimes sitting alone by yourself, you forget that stuff. But with someone else, you can make that connection. Anybody else? Yeah. I'll get to you, Rhonda.
That I'm still able to work in my yard and create the beauty that I love to see and put
all kinds of flowers and just be in nature.
Yeah. And do that for the church too. We're grateful. Did you have your hand up, Jay? No? Okay. Okay. Chris, I saw your hand.
I like sending people cards and messages. I love getting mail myself, but I like sending cards and messages to people.
Yeah, that gives a lot of purpose. That's connection right there. It absolutely is. I'm not so good at that, but I appreciate the people who are.
I'm grateful for all the challenges and challenging people that are in the world to help me grow and expand and see things in a different light.
You have been looking at my paper because that was the next thing I was going to say. Yes. Oh, Jerry.
Thankful for our pets, animals in our life.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that, once again, connection. Connection gives us meaning, always. You know, you can be in despair, but the dog still has to be fed. You've got to get up and you've got to do it, no matter how you're feeling. And that is something to be grateful for.
I'm grateful for the connection with any of the people who sit with me in a group or in this church, in a book club, who help me remember who I am and help to have them remember who they are.
Yeah. Did you ever consider that just by being who you are and making a connection, you are making a difference in someone else's life? Just by being who you are. Just by being who you are. Absolutely. Absolutely. So the next thing, yes, is what in your life can you be grateful for that can be seen maybe as a challenge or a hardship or a growth opportunity? Those are harder to be grateful for, and sometimes they're easier to be grateful for when they're in the past, when we look back and go, oh yeah, okay, that happened. Not necessarily, we talked about last week, oh, I see why that happened, so that makes it all okay. Not that. But that happened, and I grew in a way that I can't imagine any other way I could have grown. In that particular way. I can't imagine anything else that would have done that, where we can be thankful. And then when you're used to doing that, when you get enough experience under your belt about looking back into the past and going, oh yeah, I can see what I got from that. I can see what I got from that. I can see what I got from that. It's easier to look at a difficult situation today and go, okay, I may not know what I'm getting from it, but I can be absolutely sure that I am getting something from it, or someone else is. There's a healing going on, y'all. There's always a healing going on. And so absolutely taking a moment to know that, even if you don't know the particulars of it, taking a moment to know that is a way to cultivate gratitude. So the natural world, people, meaning and purpose, and challenges, those are the hardest. Anybody have a challenge that they've overcome or are trying to overcome that you're grateful for?
Loss of loved ones.
There's a challenge. And guess what? We all lose them. We all lose them. And we learn things about ourselves. We learn something about the depth of our own ability to love, if nothing else. Yeah, did you have your hand up? Sorta?
Kind of, sort of. When I was newly in a management position, my manager was one of those management by intimidation kind of people. I cried a lot. It was miserable. But in the years of choosing this path and then more experience, I had one of those much later. And it was so strange. I was amazed at what would come out of my mouth. Things like, oh, I think you must be looking in a mirror. And he would just back right down. It's like I didn't know where that came from, so it was a gift. Didn't know it at the time.
Yeah. We often don't know it at the time.
Grateful for getting fired once, as it led me to something better, and also grateful for getting laid off, as that led me eventually into nursing and opening up a whole new world for me.
There you go. Beautiful. I'm grateful for all the churches who didn't hire me so I could get here. Did you have your hand up? David?
I'm grateful for the experience I've had being my mother's primary caretaker these last 3 years. I've got, compassion for all those that have elderly parents that they have to take care of. And, and the nurses and the caregivers. It's given me more empathy. It's hard, but, I feel more now.
The richness of life. The richness. Anybody else?
I'm grateful for the people who challenged my daring to speak the spiritual truth in the acting technique that I teach. They destroyed my reputation across the world, accusing me of horrible witchcraft for speaking the spirit. And I'm grateful for the technology that brings me to people across the world who are seeking it, and the strength that their counterforces drove me to maintain my conviction and develop greater and greater skills to bring the truth across the world.
Sometimes the people that disagree with you or make you miserable are the very people that let you know for sure in the deepest way possible what I really believe. What do I really stand for? We might not have to stand for it if someone else didn't, for a moment, in some way, stand against it.
I'm grateful for Rev K, who started this church, and most grateful for my spiritual teacher, who teaches me every day, every week. Thank you, Melinda.
Thank you, Nancy.
I guess I'm grateful for the challenge I'm having with work and having to continue to work and obstacles I have and trying to learn. And then I just recently met a new client that kind of inspired me to know what I know and made me feel better about myself.
That was a beautiful teaching moment. She said, I guess I'm grateful. Sometimes that's the best you can do to work your way into, you know what, I'm grateful. A little bit of, I guess I'm grateful for that. Lovely, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, got two people. I'll get you Larry, in a minute. Cliffy.
This is more general, but you reminded me of notices a long time ago. I've had repeatedly, time and again, things happen in my life that would be one of the last things I want to happen. And I do what I can do, persevere, I can't take any credit, but then things work out even better than if that thing hadn't happened. Don't understand how that works, but I can be grateful all the same.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't have to know how it works to know it works. Larry, I haven't forgotten you, but I'm going to save my legs.
I'm grateful to my mom who recently passed, but still lets me know she's with me.
Yeah. Thank you. I am. I'm grateful for having to walk around the sanctuary and get more steps in today.
I'm extremely grateful for all the programs out there to help people work and overcome their addictions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have said in meetings before, thank God that I had all these alcoholics in my life. And other people have said, are you crazy? Yeah, I mean, my dad, my uncle, my sister, my other sister, my 5 uncles, cousins, I mean, surrounded by them. And that is not a pleasant thing. And yet I don't know if I could ever have gotten into the healing and recovery that actually brought me to this place today. There was right along with unity that dovetailed with my spiritual life so that I could learn and grow. I am grateful to everybody who ever drove me to the brink, because at the brink is when I found the hidden resources within myself, or, which is kind of the same thing if you think about it, I had to give up and reach out. I had to. It is not I, but the spirit within. And it is I, because it's the spirit within, right? Yeah, it's my higher self. Yeah. Yes, Juliana.
I'm kind of grateful for being unemployed and lack of income. It makes me very insecure and fearful, but there has to be a reason why it's happening.
There is faith right there. To stand in the middle of it and go, I don't know why this is happening and it is not comfortable, but I trust. I trust that good is coming from this. Absolutely. Whew. Lovely. We're digging deep, people. Okay, last thing I want to say, and we don't have to do this out here, but my friend Christopher Chenoweth, who is a mentor of mine, used to say, if you can't think of anything else to be grateful for, think of this, the at least rule. Well, I lost my foot, but at least I still have the other one, right? We can always find an at least. Now, the Buddhists say, rightfully, that comparisons are odious. We start comparing ourselves to other people and to other people's problems. That can get dangerous, but if we use it as a positive spurring into a new place, yeah, you know, this is happening, I hate that it's happening, but at least we're not having an earthquake while it's happening. It can be that small. It can be enough to just give you a chuckle or to push you a little bit out of the space of poor me or out of the space of ego and into the space of there's something larger going on here that I'm a part of, that I'm definitely a part of. So, yeah, I just want to because we've talked a long time, not just me this time. Let's go into a prayer. Not even going to call it a meditation, we're going to call it a prayer. We just breathe deeply and let it go. And say thank you. You don't even have to know what the you is. Or phrase it this way, I am grateful. It is possible to stand in gratitude without having an object of gratitude. I am grateful. And then fill in the blank or don't. I am grateful. And I say the words, thank you, God. I write those words and I say them, but I know what I mean when I say them. What I mean is, thank you, higher meaning. Thank you, Spirit of love, animating energy that flows through all that lives. Thank you, Dharma. Thank you, Tao. Thank you that there is a way through this human life other than just reacting to every human thing with all of the tumult of my own ego. Thank you that there is another way. There is a higher way. Thank you that in moments I'm able to seek that way or to surrender to that way and allow it to have its sway in me. I'm grateful. I am grateful. And so it is. Amen.